Welcome to our latest video. Today we're taking a close look at the Honda XL600LM 1985 to 1987. This adventure bike blends desert DNA with real-world practicality. A frame-mounted rally fairing with twin headlights, a 28-liter tank, and ProLink suspension. At its heart beats Honda's air-cooled RFVC single with twin carburetors, 589cc around 45 horsepower. The LM comes with electric start, 21 17-inch wheels, a single front disc, and a rear drum. We'll cover history, tech, design, how it rides, strengths and weaknesses, worthwhile accessories, and market prices, finishing with a clear buying recommendation. Plus, the usual checkpoints like CDI stator, valve clearances, and carb synchronization. Commuting, gravel, or long hauls, who is the LM right for? Motorize, your #1 source for new and used parts. Let's hit the road. History and development. In the mid-80s, Honda positioned the XL600LM as the long-haul sister to the XL600R, clearly inspired by the Paris-Dakar Rally. The RFVC single-cylinder, 100x75mm and 89 Cia, stayed, but the LM shifted toward travel. A frame-mounted half-fairing with twin headlamps, a larger tank, and an electric starter as standard. A 21-inch front wheel and ProLink monoshock kept its off-road DNA alive. Braking was a single disc up front and a drum at the rear. Built for only a few years, it bridged the gap between the purist XLR and the later Transalp Africa twin. Its technical signature: Keihin twin carburetors, 24-28mm, with progressive opening of the secondary for strong mid-range punch, about 43er at 6,500 RPM, rather than top-end fireworks. Key specs. In a double cradle steel frame beats Honda's air-cooled 589cc RFVC single with 4 radially splayed valves. Bore and stroke, 100.75.0mm. A 2-stage Keihin PD twin-carb setup delivers seamless response and strong pull, around 44 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and roughly 50 Nm. Dry sump lubrication stores the oil in the frame. Check it via the dipstick at the headstock. A 5-speed gearbox, electric start, and a durable clutch put power to the ground. Chassis, 41mm Showa telescopic fork up front, ProLink monoshock at the rear, 21 17-inch spoked wheels. Brakes are a single front disc and a simple rear drum. XL600LM highlights: a frame-mounted rally fairing with twin headlights, a long-range 28-liter tank, and quick valve clearance adjustment via screw and lock nut. Design and ergonomics. Visually, the XL600LM wears the desert on its face, a frame-mounted rally fairing with twin headlights and a tall screen behind it. The big 28-liter plastic tank stretches the silhouette, while the cooling fins of the air-cooled RFVC single sit fully in the airstream. Ergonomically, you're on a long, near-flat seat, about 88 centimeters high, with a wide handlebar and a narrow waist, ideal for standing off-road. 21 17-inch spoked wheels, front 2021, rear 120/90/17, and a ProLink rear end with roughly 220mm of travel, smooth out the bumps. Up front you get around 260mm. Practical touches include a central ignition switch in the cockpit, grippy high-mounted levers, and a sturdy luggage rack. The twin carb responds cleanly and makes fine throttle control easy when you're on the pegs. Handling and everyday usability. From the saddle of the XL600LM, its dual nature comes into focus. The 21-inch front tips in with ease, stays neutral on the open road, and the ProLink rear irons out potholes. The 589cc RFVC single pulls cleanly from idle, loves the mid-range, and delivers a broad, elastic shove, ideal for a relaxed 110 to 120 km/h, 70-75 per hour cruise. The softly sprung fork dives deep under hard braking. With a single front disc and rear drum, you need to plan ahead. In town, a generous steering lock and upright riding position make life easy. On gravel, traction and ground clearance impress. At night, the twin headlights in the rally cockpit do a surprisingly good job. Strengths and highlights. The XL600LM4 wins you over with character and substance. Its 589cc RFVC single, with 4 radially arranged valves, Keihin twin carbs, and a balancer shaft, is tractable, easy to live with, and quick to set up. Valve clearances adjust in minutes via screw and lock nut adjusters. A 28-liter tank delivers a genuine 400-kilometer range, while the frame-mounted fairing takes the wind off your chest, ideal for long stints. ProLink rear suspension, a 41mm fork, and 21 17-inch wheels give you plenty of margin on rough roads and easy trails. Braking is by a single front disc and a dependable rear drum. Built for touring. A stout rear subframe with luggage rack, a long, flat seat, and an electric starter as standard. Unmistakable too. The twin headlight face, an asset both visually and functionally. In short, an honest adventure tourer with simple mechanics, strong parts support, and real everyday usefulness. Weak points and common issues. Where there's light, there's shadow. On the XL600LM PD04, the Cayenne PD twin-carb setup is finicky. Cracked vacuum diaphragms or poor sync will give you a flat spot around 4,000 to 5,000 RPM and make hot starts a pain. A frequent gremlin is the CDI, cold solder joints causing intermittent cutouts. The electric starter can slip on its one-way clutch. Hear a metallic free-spinning whir and its rebuild time. Around the chassis, ProLink linkages like to seize their needle bearings, and the stock Showa shock goes soft. Result, a vague, wallowy rear end. In the RFVC head, rocker arms and cam lobes can wear if the dry sump oil screen in the frame down tube is neglected. Also typical, lackluster bite from the small single Nissan front disc, a top-heavy feel with a full 28-liter tank, and thin-walled headers that love to rust. Accessories and customization. Smart upgrades put function before flash. A steel-braided brake line and sintered pads squeeze more bite from the tuned 56mm single disc. Progressive fork springs up front, and a YSS or Wilbur shock out back settle the chassis. After dark, go with modern H4 reflectors or E-marked LED inserts in the Honda NX650 Dominator RD08's twin headlight cowl, backed by an uprated regulator, rectifier, and stator. Enduro handguards, wider pegs, a skid plate, and a cooling fin guard make it more travel-ready. The Cayenne VE40 carb likes a fresh diaphragm and clean jetting, e.g. 50 Pilot, 148 main, depending on elevation. A 16-tooth front sprocket drops revs noticeably on long hauls. Soft luggage on reinforced racks suits the sturdy tail section. Optional, a stainless slip-on AB approved for longevity. For dusty rides, a twin air foam filter, clean and re-oil it regularly. Market value and buying checklist. Originality pays. Unmolested, stock XL600LMs usually fetch €3,000 4,500. Very clean bikes with complete bodywork and good plastics paint clear 5,000 plus. Project bikes start around 1,800 os. Checks, quiet valve train when warm, seamless transition of the dual Cayenne carbs around 3,500 to 4,000 RPM, electric starter and starter freewheel, Sprag. Should bite without slipping. Healthy CDI units, the LMPD4 often has two and the connectors get brittle. Dry sump routine, warm it up, let it idle 1 to 2 minutes, then check oil at the frame-mounted dipstick without screwing it in. Watch for metallic sheen glitter. Chassis, play in swing arm, linkage, and steering head bearings. 41mm Showa fork tubes for rust, rear drum for scoring and free movement of the brake cam. Important, LM-specific parts like the twin headlight cowl and 28-liter tank are rare and pricey. Bonus, many qualify for historic registration in Germany, H-plate. Verdict and buying advice. The Honda XL600LM is a characterful travel enduro for wrenchers who value real mechanics and don't need electronic wizardry. Its air-cooled 589cc RFVC single 100 by 75mm with 4 radially arranged valves, dry sump and oil and frame delivers stout mid-range punch. 21 17-inch wheels and ProLink suspension give you plenty in reserve, and the rally-style fairing takes the strain off on long stretches. Before you buy, check the CDI unit. Starter Sprag one-way clutch, the diaphragms in the Cayenne twin carb, and the valve train's oil supply. Also inspect the steering head and swing arm bearings, fork seals, cush drive rubbers, and often the rear shock. If you can live with the seat height, the vibes, and a basic single front disc, rear drum, you're getting a tour-ready classic that holds its value, has serious range, and brings authentic desert vibes to everyday riding. Recommendation: if the condition is right, snap it up.